Hello and welcome back to Relax and Play. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about.
We're doing another random chat. We haven't done just a random thoughts about something in a while.
This you could say is an analysis slash random trap.
Slat.
This game.
We're talking about the new expansion pack for Age of Mythology, a game we've been playing since we were, what, 12?
No. It's not that old.
Well.
This came out in 03, I think.
Oh, so.
I think Titans was 04 or something. It was in the
around,
2000s.
We were around 15-ish.
Yeah, I was in. I remember I would be up until the wee hours in the night with Ferguson on the phone because we didn't have vent back then.
We have a friend who plays with nothing but building caravan.
Oh,
but the point is,
and he's also drunk half the time, unfortunately.
we love this game. I mean, we've actually debated whether or not we should play this game on our channel and get a few people in. But
and I love Chinese history.
And so yeah, this expansion was right up Commander's alley.
But then I played it.
So see, I've been watching videos and I've been seeing Commander play it, but we decided to do.
Oh, you didn't even watch me play it. You just watched me bitch about everything that was in there.
Well,
I didn't even play a game.
I saw you play that first chapter, and well, we'll talk about it.
I built one building, then quit.
First of all, the first thing I noticed when he booted up the game is the new remix of the theme. Which I love the original theme.
Well, you like the Titans. Konig.
Yeah, Konig.
That's the Titan.
The original one doesn't have it, but it's still good.
Yep.
But the new remix, I mean, I assume you'll probably place it here anyways. But I don't know. First of all, it loops. It does the Mega Man X4 style where it stops and then it resumes.
See, what Jelly's trying to say here is, in the original one, it would play it.
Well, Titans,
and then it would just stop, and you would hear whatever was in the background, like
sounds of the ocean,
sounds of the ocean, or the winter, or something. But in this, it pauses for like 1 second.
It's like 5. It's very noticeable.
It pauses. It's all nice and quiet, and then it all suddenly just starts again, and it's just like. And I like
Chinese.
Probably would have been better if the Japanese did make this.
Well, the thing is, that's why I think it's pretty ironic now that you're sitting here being like, I have mixed opinions about this, because, as you mentioned, you love Chinese history.
Yep.
You read up on Romance of the Three Kingdoms, all that good stuff. And this game...
Huge fan of Dynasty Warriors, so I do know,
But
people.
This game... Well, let's move aside from superficial issues like music. Let's talk about what they've actually added.
I might sneeze, just warning you. Okay. Well, first off, let's start with what they added to the currently existing game. And we'll start with the Greek and work our way down the chart. And if I remember right, they did do some balancing. They did try to change up some god powers. They tried to make god powers better by like improving accuracy and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get too much into the patch notes that I was...
Didn't they fix that issue with the Atlanteans you've had since Titans?
What issue?
What was it? Was it Kronos? He couldn't,
We'll get to that when we get to the Atlanteans.
Okay,
Thank you for reminding me, though. Yes, that was an issue.
You've had that issue for a long time.
I just kind of came to terms with it, but we'll get to that in a second. Greeks each faction got a new special unit, which it's like, okay, cool, let's see what they did. The Greeks, they got a physician.
Oh, we should bring up the thing so we can look at them.
Oh, I remember him.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll bring it up for you.
Just so I can see visual evidence of this crap.
But yeah, the Greek physician. Oh gosh.
See, he was telling me, he's like, they got a physician. And I was like, the physician? Well, that doesn't sound too bad. Well.
Okay. My problem with the physician, it has no attack. Which is, fine. It's a doctor. Okay. It costs 2 population, so it's on the category of a soldier.
Well, I said, what's the problem? I mean, if they heal you, they're defensive, right? But then you pointed out, well, they only heal 1/4 of your health.
Well, if your units are in combat, they only heal at 1/4 the rate than if you were out of combat. So, what's really the point of having a mobile healing unit when you could just say go through Apollo and heal at the temple?
Oh shit, Athena.
Athena's got
Restoration. That's all I
restoration
read.
god power. Yeah, it's
God, who'd ever play as Zeus? The most vanilla of the gods. That's all
you
I
do.
ever-
That's
all I ever
that's
played.
all he'll
That's
ever
all
play
I ever
as.
played
I
as
try to at least make him switch to Hades. He's done it once.
No, I played as Ra a few times, but then I went back to Zeus.
Ra originally was my favorite, but okay, that's besides the point.
Okay,
We're digressing from the point of this video.
Okay.
So, long and short, it can attack. It can hardly heal in combat. What's the point of this unit? It takes up 2 population. I'd rather have a damn hoplite.
Yeah.
You know, there's no upgrades for them either.
There's no upgrades to make them heal more?
No, there's no upgrades to improve their defense or anything.
Oh yeah, I don't see the upgrade screen there. Yeah.
You know, I don't really feel like they are beneficial whatsoever.
Seems like they just added it just to add something new.
It's like they added a reskinned villager.
Oh, it does look like.
That's okay. Now what's next? The what are we gonna talk about?
Let's talk about the new Egyptian unit.
Oh no, we'll save the best for last.
All right, let's talk about the Norse unit because I mean, we debated this one.
Okay, the North.
The North.
Norse.
The Norse.
I'm not too good with Norse names, but
Bogsviger
or Viger.
We definitely pronounced that wrong.
Oh, a lot of hate mail from our northern brothers.
They get archers,
which don't really fit with Norse that much unless they're on boats, I feel.
Because I said I really didn't have a problem with this, but the archer's actual sprite, if you can see it there, it doesn't really match the aesthetic of the Norse, does it?
It looks more like a Hun.
Kinda.
And it feels like they actually just rips the Toxitize or whatever from the Greek.
Actually, the upgrade icons, see, isn't that what you had a problem with? Because the upgrades, you have to upgrade these guys separately.
They're actually ripped straight from Greek.
And the icons themselves are literally the Greek archer upgrade icons.
Which I don't have a problem with. But Norse, they never had an archer. So why do they need one now? Me personally, I don't think these archers can even build. So literally the only point of these guys is so that they could have an archer.
I mean, I really don't think it's a bad thing per se. I just think that the sprite itself looks like it doesn't belong.
Yeah,
I mean, they gave him a mighty beard, so that fits, but really.
Well, it doesn't even look that mighty to me. It looks like he has like 5 o'clock shadow because he, kind of like ate a chocolate cake too fast.
Yeah, probably.
But that's besides the point. I just really feel like they didn't need them. I mean, the throwing axemen
serve the same purpose.
Serve this very same purpose.
Yeah.
You know, literally, they're just a throwing axeman. I mean, they have like, I don't know. That's just me personally. Not a bad addition,
but not
a great.
I mean, it's a safe addition. You're not really thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it's an addition, but I think they probably could have made it look a little bit better. What would have been cooler is if it had like a big shield on his back and like metal winged helmet, like a Viking Raider or something like that. You know?
Do they have Vikings? I think they do.
Yulsvark's is the closest.
Yeah.
Thing.
Wow.
Which great unit. You know, there's nothing wrong with Yulsvark.
All right, let's move on to the Atlanteans.
Let's see. Atlanteans, it's not terribly bad.
You have a major
the Onager. It's not a bad, but I feel like it's another really pointless addition. It's another ditch attempt to give every fucking faction a damn catapult. And literally what it is it's the Norse ballista except for Atlanteans. And the only thing that they did to make it different was
they added a paddle.
They stuck the fucking arm from the catapult onto it from the Egyptians. Yep. That's all they did.
So you're saying the sprite work is kind of lazy?
Very. I felt like it was very lazy. What was wrong with the fire siphon? Why do we need to have another long-ranged...
Because that doesn't work against ships, right?
No, the fire siphon can attack from the shore. It just doesn't have as much range as this thing.
Yeah, but the ships have to be close range. So can this attack ships that are really far out?
Yeah, probably.
Well then...
But why wouldn't you have a boat?
I don't know.
You know, it's like...
Damn, it takes 3 population?
It takes up 3 population, too.
What the fuck?
Whereas, you know, okay, there's a good thing. That takes 3 population. The Fire Siphon takes up, I think, 5.
Mm-hmm.
But the Fire Siphon is very beastly. It's a very good unit. It's very fun. Very strong, too. You know, and the crush damage on this thing is like... it's 12. Let me compare it to the Fire Siphon really quick. Maybe that's the silver lining. Maybe this thing, you know, doesn't have... You know, maybe it does, like, more damage. Let's see.
Doubt it.
Fire Siphon does 55 crush damage compared to 12.
Good against buildings, huh?
What?
And ships.
So pretty much one Fire Siphon does more damage than almost 4 or 5 of those things. Because 4 times 12, that's 48.
And even though it takes up 5 population, think about it. At that point, if you're building about 4 or 3 or 5...
So you can build 1 for 5 population, and those things take 3. 3 times 4 is 12, so you have to take 12 population to not even reach the same damage of the damn Fire Siphon.
Yeah. I mean, if it sounds like we want to complain, we really don't, because this game was our PC game.
This is still my
party game.
This is
and
my
Smash Brothers
game.
And Halo were our party game.
You know, I still love this game to death, but you know, I do have some gripes. And I believe in the patch notes that I did read on the wiki, they actually increased the range of the Fire Siphon to actual 18.
Oh, they buffed it?
Yeah. So instead of 16, this thing has 2 more range.
Shit.
So why add something with more range on it that does less damage? Okay.
They didn't think it through.
Now we get the Egyptian.
Now, before we continue, I was saying, oh, wow, dude, how can anything be worse than that? And then he showed me this unit.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing for 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Just reading it again.
How's that pronounced? You're better at words. The
Kopesh, maybe?
Kopesh?
Kopesh
swordsman. Infantry that's good against villagers, okay. Used against villagers, countered with everything.
So let me try and work this out here. Just see if I can find a benefit. This guy's good against villagers, right?
Yep.
What isn't? What in this game is not good against villagers? A light cold, a gentle winter breeze can kill fucking villagers.
I was gonna say maybe some bugs, but no, swarm of locusts will actually kill villagers.
So this is quite possibly the most useless thing in the entire game. And I looked at every other class, and you even know, I even looked at that medic, the physician, and I said, well, you know, I can see some benefits. I looked at this and I just laughed. What isn't good against villagers? Maybe they do, like, more damage again. Okay, but 2 soldiers can pretty much down 4 villagers in seconds.
I would rather have 2 slingers than 5 of these guys.
And they're weak against everything. Literally, anything.
If you go look up on the wiki, which I was laying in bed because I was, like, so bamboozled by this game after I played it, I was like, oh, they added new units. Oh, this would be cool. Let's just check this out. Strong against villagers, weak against everything. Why? What the fuck is the point of that? You know, it's like, make a damn spearman.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just compare this. This thing doesn't even do bonus damage against villagers, right?
Yes.
Okay, it just says use against villagers. Okay, it has 5 hack damage. Let's compare that to the spearman.
Oh, shh.
The standard spearman has 7 hack damage.
Still more.
And it gets bonus again. It's strong against cavalry and bonus against siege weapons. Okay. Oh, well, maybe they move faster so they can run down. Okay, the spearman moves, at 5 points, 5 speed a second.
Like, you just hit back. We're out of touch with the game.
Okay, so they have 0.8.
They move a little faster.
They have 0.8 more speed.
Okay, that's the buff.
Okay, well, let's check out the HP.
65 to 70.
Spearman has more HP. So they move a little bit slower.
Wait, how much population? Just hit back, actually. I might remember.
Both 2.
Okay.
Okay, now let's compare that to the Axemen. Okay, so the Axemen move a little bit slower. They do bonus damage against infantry. They're strong against infantry. They have more armor. They have the same amount of attack, more HP.
I can tell you right now, those new units are worthless. Alright, those new units suck.
Well, no, man, no. The speed is what makes them good. The speed is what makes them good. They're really strong in speed. Slingers have fucking range. They have fucking range.
Well, I mean...
I would rather use a slower ranged unit over a fast melee unit any day of the week.
Well, upgrading the soldiers, they'd probably upgrade the new Kopesh people, right? I'd imagine.
I assume, yeah.
So maybe they'll move faster and do a bit more okay.
No, I didn't see any upgrades for that.
What's the point? I mean, okay. What isn't good against villagers, though? Let's go back to the original point. Everything is good against villagers. Villagers suck except for your basic necessities of
I would say, well,
and building.
Except for Atlantean villagers, they're tougher but then again, they count as like 5 villagers in one.
Yeah.
You know, that has got to be like the stupidest unit I've ever felt.
Really, this is the dumbest addition.
Oh.
Let's move on past this shit and talk about the 3 new units now.
You mean the 3 new civs, the Chinese?
Well, that's one civilization, but 3 new gods, right?
The major
gods, yeah. Because I remember now, despite all that negativity there, you actually enjoy these 3 new major gods.
The major gods, I don't really mind.
And we've been talking about how cheap the sprites look, and they really do look like they just got lazy. But
the
artwork is fantastic. Looks like something Ensemble themselves would have cooked up.
Exactly, and I really like the 3 major gods are Fuxi, Nuwa, and
Shenron. It's Shenron.
It's Shannon, which he's like the father of agriculture in their mythology.
And he looks like Zeus cosplaying as a goat.
Yeah, he could be Zeus. Actually, I would say his Uncle Bill.
Oh.
You know, that lives in a cabin and it doesn't like talk to anybody. But you know, I mean, the gods are sound. I really like the gods. The gods' power, I feel like some of them can use a little bit of work. It goes along with her whole mythology where she created the peasants out of the silt of the Yellow River. Mm-hmm. But pretty much when a villager dies, you can resurrect it. You know, I'd rather just make a new villager. It's so much easier, I think. And then if the corpse rots away, you can't res it. Well, odds are I can't res it safely until it rots away, because that's when the combat's going to be over. But Fuxi's, I really don't like at all. You summon goats.
Let's switch to him so we can see the artwork.
Now,
you summon goats, huh?
Now, which, you know, in the long run, okay, that's not a bad idea. It's similar to the Dwarven Mine, like with Thor, you know, gold in a later age.
Okay, but unless you're in a certain type of terrain, you'll be able to find plenty of food to the point where what's the point of wasting it?
Once you get to the second age, you can build farms, which are infinite food regardless.
Yeah, classical negates the need for these goats anyways. And to be fair, you can jump to the second age pretty quickly in comparison to the others.
Yes, you can. But not only that, the Chinese, they get this special building called Gardens, which is their favorite generation, which I really liked. It was comparable to the Egyptian monuments, you know. But say you're running low on food, you can switch all of them to produce food for you. So why would I need to use a god power to summon goats?
Good point.
You know, other than that, Shannon's god power is like advanced lumber gathering. I take you want me to switch.
Yeah, I was pointing to the screen. I want to see this new. It's Zeus.
Timber harvest. And at first I thought it was stupid, but then I thought about it more. It goes along the same thing with Isis. He's the god of agriculture and woods, so he shows your villagers how to gather wood faster for a limited time. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with Isis and the gathering gold, and then one of the other Egyptian god powers, which allows farms to gather food faster. So I mean, this one's
I like plenty. Plenty's one of my favorite god powers.
Oh, the Plenty Vault. That's all you ever go with.
That's all that.
Yeah. Yeah, but so that one isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to before we get to the tech trees or anything like that. Let's get to the minor gods. The minor gods, I feel like pretty darn good. I really like the artwork.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the most part, they're pretty
Wukong
good.
looks a little iffy to me personally. But
He has a huge chin, but then again, he's supposed to have the face of a monkey.
that's true.
So he's completely a
Yeah,
monkey.
but it looks like he's wearing a helmet, like Evil
he is.
Knievel.
He's wearing like a leather helmet,
He's
which
a biker.
I always pictured Wukong with spiky hair, personally.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like monkey hair. Because wasn't he also noticed for his big ears?
I think so.
I don't remember. I know Liu Bei from Dynasty Warriors was known for his big ears in the actual novel, but some of the god powers are a little bit iffy.
Wow.
I can't name one that I can't name any that I particularly hate, except for like the starting
goat one. I hate the goat
except for the starting god powers. There's volley of arrows. There's the geyser one. I thought was gonna be stupid, but it's actually really cool. You can place down a geyser field, and enemy units that run into it get flung all over the place. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
shit.
There's like entangled roots that you tangle enemy buildings in, and it crushes them. Their final god powers are really cool. There's like a raging infernal one, which sets an entire enemy town on fire. There's a big ass tidal wave, and it's all pretty well animated, I would say. And then you can summon an earth dragon with another one.
Which I think should have been the Titan. Something like
We'll get to the Titan when we talk about the units.
Something though like a classic Asian dragon, long, snake-like, serpent-like.
Yeah, I mean, even a demonic figure. There's like more demons in Eastern mythology than there are people in China.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's not an exaggeration. That's kind of a truth. That's like the best comparison I can get to that. But it feels like some of the stuff is very lackluster. Well, let's get into like some of the actual like classic, the standard human structures. The backbone of your infantry, is your halberds and your chukanuks, which is fine. Crossbows and spear users. Then you get cavalry, which is okay, but I'm pretty sure cataphracts was more of a Byzantine thing.
We don't have Byzantine in this game.
Even if they had like iron flails, or something like that, it would have been, I feel like, a more Asian thing. But cataphracts, I've always related those things with the Byzantians.
Well, let's talk about something that I know you didn't really like. You don't like the Immortals. Now, what are these Immortals?
The Immortals are their version of the heroes.
Bring up the sprite. Let's see how crappy it looks. I mean, how great it looks.
The idea behind the Immortals is pretty cool.
Well, first of all, since they're a hero unit, they can be down. So the name Immortals kind of...
Well, they can come back. Their souls go into the
really?
gods, and then you can resurrect them. Just like any other hero, like very much so reminiscent of the Greek heroes. How, Jason can always be reborn.
Yeah, but I like to think it's Jason's son and his grandson each time I res them.
You're weird. But, interesting concept with these guys. They're ranged and they're melee. But the problem is, every time I want them to go ranged, they never do it. It's like, why not just put in a toggle switch?
Good point, though. I guess they're only ranged for flying things.
I guess, but I don't know. I've never been able to get them to actually use their bow. They always use their damn swords with me. I don't know why. But, while we're talking, it's a neat little idea. And while we're on the subject of neat little ideas, one of the myth units, the War Salamander, is actually a great idea. Where it's a land unit, but it can go into the water and become a naval unit. And attack.
Should have been a Titan.
No, that would have been way too strong.
I know, but still.
Oh my god.
Ass.
But yeah, that was a really cool
you
concept.
that.
I really did like those. But yeah, you can make 8 Immortals, I think, by the final age. Fuxi, with his special god abilities, can make them all in the first age. But I really don't care for them. I'd rather just beat my head with a bunch of human units than really do anything else. Oh,
the monk.
But then the monk is another hero unit. I can't.
Oh, he's on Hiroke. It's the third one down.
Oh my god.
That's up, right there.
Okay.
He looks badass. That's what I wanted Wukong to be. A dude in a power pole with like a.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about some of the problems I feel.
Monk's badass.
I don't have a problem with this guy. It's like a more badass version of the original Wooloo priest.
Yeah, he converts enemies.
He can convert enemies.
Dude, if I get this, I'm gonna mod him so he goes swole.
He can heal, and he can also attack with his staff, which is, and honestly, make these guys over the Immortals if you ask me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Personally, because
they're badass. They're badass, man. Look at them.
They're pretty cool. I like them. Something that you reminded me, I forgot to say when we were talking about the Atlanteans. One of the bugs that they did fix was with Kronos. He originally wasn't able to get Omniscience.
Which none of us even noticed. You're the
well,
first.
I did.
You always
I
pointed
always
out. You're like, hey, wait a minute.
It's like, well,
I was like, maybe it's intentional. You're like, no, it's in his skill tree.
It was.
I was like,
yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah, that you're right. So they finally fixed that. Only took them 10 years, but that's besides the point. Monks overall, a good choice.
What about the Titan?
We'll talk about the Titan at the very end of this. Something that I really wish that they would have done was, China was really known for their military generals, and I really think the generals should have been the hero units. But no, they made the generals into a standard unit, which I thought, it's okay, but pretty much what they do is they give a morale boost to all units when they're in combat, which is like Arcantos' special in the original campaign. And, I think that's a great idea for the unit, because the Chinese military should be, somewhat little bit weaker, because they're mostly just peasants equipped with farm tools. And so the general would increase their attack in a large group and make them stronger. So that was a neat concept. I think they should have had, up to 4 generals by the final age and stuff like that. And as heroes instead of the, immortals. But going to their castle units... their siege units, they get these flaming pike throwing guys, which are okay. Personally, I think a Juggernaut or something would have been cooler, from Dynasty Warriors, big lion breathing fire. The spear throws are okay, the lance throws are okay. But also from the castle in the final age, they can make chariots, which I know war chariots are a huge part of were a huge part of the military, but I don't feel like they're nearly as, say, iconic as, say, the Egyptian chariots. I feel like they could have put in a better unit. And then they get catapults called, the Crouching Tiger or Hidden Dragon.
Jet Li,
just... It's an okay
Is that really
catapult.
what they're called? Crouching Tigers?
No, they're Sitting Tigers.
Oh.
Sitting Tigers, which is okay. It's not the greatest... it's just a standard catapult. Other than that, I really feel like there's not a whole lot to write home about.
Still, though, overall, though, what do you think of these 3 new additions?
The concepts are fine.
Personally, I think they're not bad.
Yeah, but my problem comes to, I feel like there was a very lack of an attention to detail. They literally were going... All the sound effects they ripped from Age of Empires 3.
This is my big problem, what I've seen from the videos and from the little I saw Commander play of this. I think the 3 gods themselves, the entire new civilization, is fine, structurally. I mean, there's a few gripes, whatever, sprites, whatever. My biggest problem is with the Monkey King, which, find a sprite, it bothers me. Where's the Monkey King?
Oh, his sprite's horrible.
It is horrible. Look at that shit. They just fucking put a shirt on the generic monkey.
They made a baboon bigger, and they just put a toga on it.
I wanted a tall, buff monkey with a power pole or some shit.
I think they could have just simply done a monkey-like person that punched things.
Instead, they just put a shirt on the baboon.
And then to upgrade it,
He's ready to party for a night out in the town. But that's not even my problem.
And then to upgrade it, they could have given him the power pole.
Aesthetically, as you just said, the sound effects, and you were saying, well, they used some sound effects from Age of Empires 3, but they forgot to lower the quality to match the older sound effects in this game, right?
Yep.
But there's also another problem. They do use some sound effects in music from actually Age of Mythology, but they also increased it really loud. So, for example, I saw Commander start the prologue this Tales of the Dragon
Couldn't
expansion.
hear any dialogue.
And the guy comes out and he's like, "Hey, General," while the music's going. "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun." You can't hear anything.
Yep.
And the guy's like, "Assemble my men." "What was that, General? I can't hear you over your orchestra."
Fucking basement. Shut up, guys.
It's a presentation problem. The music really hampered it to the point where you didn't even want to finish it. You're like, you know what?
And you go and look at like the prologue for Age of Mythology with Arcantos, and you have your talk with Athena, and then it seamlessly goes straight into the first stage. This one actually, as soon as the prologue ends, it asks if you want to continue.
As if they knew.
As if they
Don't
knew.
continue. Wait till we patch this, if we ever do.
So they wanted to say you chose to go beyond this point after seeing this, and it's like I didn't want to, it's like, oh, maybe one guy only worked on this. No, this was a team of, modders that was hired to do this.
Was it the people that did the Empire's expansion?
I think so, but they did a lot better with that.
I remember you liked that.
Yeah, they did a lot better job with that. I think it was an easier medium to work with.
There is also another thing you really liked, and when I was asking, well, should we? Because he was debating telling the rest of us, hey, you guys should get it. They had a giant now. Right?
Giant maps, yes.
Giant maps.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually your favorite edition, isn't it?
That's one of my favorite editions. Yes, they the map size is just huge. I love it. It's great. It definitely needed that, especially when you get up to 12 people. Some of the maps they added I thought were kind of pointless, like Yellow River.
The damn Yellow River.
It's everyone starts on the same side of the river, where it's like, okay, so in order to get to all the unclaimed settlements, you have to cross the river.
Well, is it just...
So why don't I just build and just wipe everybody out on this side?
Is there one giant island in the center, or is it multiple settlements, or all around?
No, it's one river cutting off a quarter of the map, then there's land, and then there's like the rest of the map.
So one tiny continent surrounded by a giant continent.
It's not even a continent, it's just a river.
Land masses. In other words, though, if you were to reclaim that bigger piece of land... You'd have a fortitude that you'd be unstoppable.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I would say, fuck doing that. Why would I rush to the other side? I'm going to build an army and fuck you over on the side of the river. It's
is that the only map you played, or is that the only?
There was a couple other ones that they did. Silk Road was a cool one. They have like a long road, and they have trade markets, which are plenty vaults that you can claim and gather resources from.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool one.
That gates my plenty though, so that pisses me off. But it sounds.
No,
cool.
you would have your own personal plenty vault. Plus, you could capture all the ones around the map. That's a cool concept. I like that one.
Okay, Silk Road sounds cool.
Okay, Mao, let's talk about the Titan.
Before we end it, let's talk about the Titan.
I mentioned the character sprites and stuff like that.
Looking kind of cheap.
Well, it feels like they just ripped most of them.
That Monkey King is garbage.
It pissed me off. But
he looks kind of cool though.
It's a monkey. I mean, that's all
I like monkeys.
The Azure Dragon they did a decent job with. I'll give them that. But the Titan. Okay, first off,
I asked him before we started recording. I said, "Hey, can you show me the new Titan from the Chinese gods?" You know what his response was? "You don't want to see it." I said, "Okay."
I think this would be the only time that I would say I'm never using a Titan.
So explain, what is the Titan for this new group?
Okay, well, first off, let's start out with the build. Okay. You research the Titan Gate, which is, the icon. It's the standard icon for every faction. And it pops up in the big circular thing in your screen. I was expecting to see, a unique icon for it, the preview of what the Titan actually was. It was in disguise, but what it was the exact Atlantean icon.
Recolored.
No, it was the exact Atlantean icon.
Oh.
So I clicked on it, and I'm like, okay, well, that's cheap. Well, let's see how it looks. They gave you a unique Titan Gate and stuff like that, which is fine. So I put some villagers on it, and I built that shit up. I undug the hell out of that thing. It came out, and I saw Pan. Like, what the fuck is Pan doing in a Chinese Titan Gate? It was a standard person with two dinky little horns, some dragon tattoos on his back.
So he's like a demon, I guess.
I don't know. This guy was wider than a Caucasian. 2.
Well, so he looked kind of like a kabuki theater kind of.
No.
Oh well, shit.
Honestly,
You know that's Japanese.
I like no theater. Mystery Science Theater reference. But it's like this guy, he didn't even look Asian. It's like, I'm not trying to be racist here or anything.
When you say I'm not trying to be racist, you usually are racist.
No, seriously. It's like, it didn't look like anything really that I would have
Associated with China.
With Asian mythology.
See, now I said I wanted something dragonish. And you're like, well, maybe even something like Orochi, the giant snake thing. I'm like, isn't Orochi Japanese?
I think it's kind of anything over in the East.
Well, I just wanted something dragon-like. I just love fucking dragons, dude.
I said something demonic. Demonic, demonic and Titans,
Hell,
Titans are evil.
You're gonna say no to this, but why not make the Monkey King the Titan? Some badass giant ape.
I think being a little too big for the Monkey King.
Well, I don't care. Giant monkeys, shit. Monkeys and dragons. How badass can you get with monkeys and dragons?
And I like dragons too. Dragons. But yeah, I mean, hell, a giant serpent dragon I think would have been probably the best.
Hell, a giant monkey riding a giant dragon.
Okay, that's enough of the. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head a better version, a better Titan version. And then the worst thing about this Titan was the sound effects, everything. It was literally just a reskinned Atlantean Titan.
Well, you said the Chinese civilians, the archers, everyone, even the villagers, they all are taking their sound effects directly from Age of Empires 3, you said?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty lazy.
Yeah, they didn't even downgrade the quality, so it's obviously noticeable that it's a higher res game.
Well, hopefully it's not as loud as the music in those cutscenes.
Close.
So your problem with the Titan then is twofold. Firstly, you don't think it resembles a Chinese aesthetic.
Well, I think they make it look like Shenong. Very much so.
But your other problem is that it's pretty much a reskin.
It's a reskin of the Atlantean Titan, which kind of really upsets me. Even the feet. The Atlantean Titan has 2 fingers and, fucked up feet. And this guy has 2 fingers and fucked up feet. And even when he does his animations, you can tell his joints pinch because they're not supposed to match up properly. And that's where I kind of get a little bit annoyed. A little bit more creation. They could have done better if... You know what? They should have made Wukong the damn Titan.
So now you're agreeing with me.
Well, yeah, it would have been a giant monkey, but a giant hunched-over monkey would have looked better than a giant hunched-over person.
Recolor.
Well, you'd have to take the crystals off the Atlantean Titan's back and stuff.
Oh, wow. So overall, then, to recap, would you recommend this expansion pack? Because you were conflicted on your answer when I asked you earlier.
See, I'm still conflicted about it.
Well, let me say it this way, then.
I want to say before I give it a rank, okay? When I played as the Chinese factions in random game, I had fun playing it. It's not like it was absolutely unplayable for me.
Yeah, it wasn't dreadful.
But my question is, was I having fun playing it because it was Age of Mythology?
Or because it was a new civilization?
Or was it because it was a good civilization?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm still really fuzzy on.
So would you recommend it then to a hardcore Age of Mythology fan?
I would recommend getting it on sale.
Really?
For maybe $1.
See, my only problem, and this is going to be very petty, but it's the title screen. I don't like that remix.
Well, this thing was $10, right? And I was actually thinking last night in bed, I'm like, wait a minute, I think Steam does refunds. I actually want to get the refund for it.
Really?
I was actually thinking that last night, but then I let myself calm down a little bit.
Well, you still like the giant mode, the map.
The giant map mode.
In fact, you were telling me before we recorded, that's the biggest plus for me.
That's one of the biggest pluses for me, was the giant map mode.
So positives, giant map, great looking art, not sprites though, there's a difference.
They need sprite work. What's the standard human soldiers look fine to me.
But overall, you say you wouldn't recommend it? Never thought I'd hear you say that about something Ensemble related.
Ensemble didn't even touch this thing.
Come back, Ensemble!
See, my problem with it is it feels like they were hired and they just kind of rushed something out. They took their time to rush it.
Yeah, they did take their time, I think, with the Age of Empires expansion, and then as soon as that released, they announced this.
Yeah, and
they released it,
I was
7
hyped.
months later? But you know what? This release, it flew under the radar. He texted me last night. Hey, I got the new Mythology expansion. I was like, it's out?
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. If I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, and you were the one that told me about it in the first place.
Age of Mythology. I mean, I'm not going to win any brownie points here from Ensemble fans, but I can't stand the Age of Empires games. Not for any pure reason. It's purely aesthetical. I like gods more than I like actual. I mean, I'll probably play Civilization because these guys really want to play it.
There's religion in that game. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, well, then I'll probably not play it. No, but, I mean, I love just the feel of this. Just fantastical, godlike powers. And
this
stuff.
is more of a mysticism versus just pure high, just like high fantasy. This isn't like medieval fantasy. This is archaic.
Yeah, but
fantasy.
I love this game with a passion. And seeing all this stuff and all this conflicting, impressions, it kind of bothers me. But at the same time, I can see why. And I don't want to say, I'm hesitant to say this, but it does feel kind of like they rushed it, maybe.
Yeah. If you want to get an expansion to play with friends, to have a couple new factions to mess around with, I would say get this. If you want an awesome story, don't.
Well, you still haven't completed the campaign.
I know the story.
Oh, well, never mind.
Story spoiler. Oh, all the Titan combat and the other thing is causing shit to go bad here. Oh. Yin and Yang is out of balance. Not even Chi.
Oh.
Realign the Yin and Yang.
So you're still saying, though, wait for a sale? Is that your final verdict?
I would say wait for a sale.
Well, if anyone wants to... What do you all think out there? Commander loves hearing comments. I'm
reading comments. I don't hear them.
You can hear. I'm telling you my comments now. You suck at. But I don't know. Maybe if you like it, go ahead, leave a comment. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Personally, from what I see, I mean, he's saying wait for a sale. The giant mode might make it worth it, I think, personally. I still haven't bit the bullet yet. I'm hesitant, but I might because it's Age of Mythology. I don't know. Maybe.
I would say $10. If you have friends to play it with, go for it.
If you're a solo player, though, don't.
Unless you like playing random map by yourself.
Well, I do that.
In that case, I would rather masturbate.
I do that. Oh, well, that's too much information. But I do that sometimes.
Masturbate or play random map?
Well,
I'm not. Okay, let's get off that subject.
I mean, you could play with one hand. It's a PC game.
I'm
not really fond of RTSs, And this is a weird way to close the video.
I'm not really fond of RTS.
I mean, we're talking about an RTS game, and I've never... But Age of Mythology, even watching... I'll say this as one final point. Even watching him play these stupid little, very loud cutscenes that they didn't equalize the audio.
I feel like the story's poo-poo.
Well, that's true, but I still like this game. And even watching, I was like, I want to replay this game again.
Well, no. Well, you want to replay Titans again. That's the thing, though. You don't want anything to... See, I didn't mind playing as the Chinese factions. I don't. I really didn't. But I feel like, they could have been a little bit more creative. Because they have such a rich history of military and stuff like that. And they kind of just rushed it.
So, final verdict, wait for a sale?
Final verdict. If you want to play online with friends, get it. If you want to play it by yourself, I would just pass it up.
I wish I had a retort to that, but I don't, so I'll have to leave it at that.
Well, you're going to get it to play with me, right?
I probably will get it anyways.
Yeah, so...
I fucking love Age of Mythology.
So, literally, that's the only reason why I bought it. And, I feel like games nowadays are going more back to the original way of buying video games, where you don't have a shitload of awesome reviews right away. You kind of just have to pick your poison.
I guess.
And I picked my poison, and I drank it all. Luckily, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't, say, like Hitman, the newest one, which...
I heard it's okay.
Oh, God. I've seen a lot of problems with it, personally. But, if you like the game and want to play with friends, go for it. That's my last thing. But I want to tell you this. A lot of people have been having problems with initialization. Starting this game up has been a really big problem with a lot of people. Crashing?
That's something you should have mentioned at the start.
Well, hopefully people at least watch our videos all the way through, so, they would have at least some idea.
I don't even watch your videos.
Well, fuck you. Some people actually just start a game as the Chinese, and they end up, all their buildings get destroyed, including their town center, and they lose instantly.
Does it only crash when they start as this new civilization? Or?
I don't know. They weren't specific. But
then keep that in mind.
Believe it or not, I haven't had any problems with it.
I've seen him run it 3 times and nothing yet.
Yeah, so take that for what you will.
Still.
Maybe people are just butthurt and they're trying to come up with things for people not to buy it.
No, when it comes to crashes, people are usually pretty honest, I've seen. But.
Yeah. But, well, I think this has been quite a long video, so I think we'll end it there. thank you for joining us. Leave comments. Let us know what you guys think about the game.
Maybe he's dead wrong. This expansion's really good.
Honestly, I really look forward to hearing Ferguson's opinion on this one.
Me too, actually. I'm really looking forward to maybe trying it. Not really, because I'll probably still try it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Let's end it there, because I'll probably keep talking about, should I get it? Should I get it?
Take it easy, folks. Thank you for joining us.
Maybe buy the game.
Maybe not.
Buy it.